How do you quickly calculate DSCR ratios? We're going to go over that so you understand if your property actually will cash flow using this loan product. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Mike Bonn. I am here to help you maximize leverage to get the most out of real estate investing. Because I want to help you make the money you need to live the life you want, please like and subscribe to this channel so you can watch other videos just like this one. DSCR ratios. It's what the underwriters look at just to make sure your property is positively cash flowing. So when we talk about ratio, what it's going to show us, is this property actually cash flowing positively, or is it costing money monthly as a negative cash flowing property? So DSCR ratio, just think of this as calculating your monthly cash flow. Anything that is greater than 1, which means your income and your expenses equal. That means at least it's breaking even. The better your ratio, which means higher than 1, the better your cash flow. Both your lenders and you both like properties that cash flow in a higher positive manner. So let's look at a quick example because that's probably the best way to show you how this works. And remember, all it is taking your income, which is your rents, and dividing it by your expenses. Your monthly expenses that they look for in the DSCR is your monthly mortgage payment, your taxes on the property, your insurance, and HOA if you have it. So to calculate your expenses, you're going to add those 4 items up. Remember, that's your mortgage, your property tax, your insurance, and your HOA. Let's look at an example here of a property with rents coming in at $1,700 a month, so that's our income. Monthly mortgage payment of $1,290 a month. Taxes, $100 a month, just to keep this easy. Property insurance, $100 a month, and HOA, $100 a month. So we have the income, which is $1,700, and we now have the expenses, which you add all 4 of those up, and it's $1,590. So now to calculate the ratio, we take the $1,590 and divide it into the $1,700 for the rent, the income. And here we get a rounded DSCR calculation of 1.07. which means this property is on the positive side for cash flowing. The break-even point, or 1, is typically where lenders really look and like to see because they want to make sure the property takes care of itself, that you're not having to take money out of your pockets to put into the property. So underwriters and everything are looking for a ratio of at least 1. The higher, meaning higher than 1, means better cash flowing, means better cash flowing for you, because it's more money in your pocket. Plus, it's just a little bit of insurance for the lender to make sure even if something happens, the property can make the payments. Now, just to understand where this comes in, let's look at a couple other examples. Let's say the same property has a $1,500 a month rent. Everything else stays the same for right now. And this is what you want to look at when you're buying properties. Before you go in and purchase it, you want to do a estimate on the rents to make sure it cash flows. Because if it doesn't cash flow for you, it's not going to cash flow for the underwriter, and we're going to see how that impacts your loan and cash flow going forward. So remember, our expenses stayed the same. So in this case, expenses are $1,590. And now we're saying our rents are only $1,500. Do you really want to buy a property like this? Because you can see every month it's going to cost you at least $90 just to break even. When we look at the ratio, the $1,500 divided by $1,590, what we're going to find is a rounded DSCR ratio of 0.94. So the 0.94 is less than 1, which is the break even. All this means is there are products out there for this. There are people who actually have properties that are negative cash flowing because they're more worried about appreciation, or a negative cash flow of $90 is better than no cash flow at all. Maybe they have a fix and flip that is sitting on the market, and putting it into something like this and only losing $90 a month instead of the whole $1,590 is better for them. So there are products out there, but we're going to go over exactly what that costs you when you go below the 1 or break even point. Now let's look at it and see what happens if the property brings in $2,000 a month. Remember, our expenses stayed the same, $1,590. So we divide $1,590 into the $2,000, which is the rents now. And what we're going to find is a DSCR calculation of about 1.25, 1.26. So that means this property is profiting 25% more than the expenses on it. So that's good for the underwriter and it's good for you. And what you're going to find is when you break certain thresholds in DSCR calculations, you're going to get a better rate. Better rates mean better cash flow because your payments are going to actually come down from someone who just has a break even or 1. So 1.25 is one of those thresholds. So in this case, let's look at some of the numbers and how this property is impacted by just the rents in the neighborhood and what you could get for it. So this is an example, but it's very close. So in today's environment, a DSCR ratio that's break even at 1.0 like we're looking at, the interest rate would be about 7.75. Now, if it was negative cash flowing like we talked about with a 0.94, you're looking at interest rates at 9% or even higher. And then if your DSCR was above that threshold of 1.25, you're going to get even a better rate of 7.25. So it's going to help your cash flow, and the property is even going to do better because of where it sits and the rents that you're getting. So understanding, calculating your DSCR before you purchase is important because you're going to know where you lie within this matrix of underwriting for loans. So as you can see, the difference between the negative DSCR and the 1.25 is about $220 a month in positive cash flow with the lower rate. So anytime you can lower the rate, which means more money in your pocket, the better for you. So $220 a month, that's over $2,600 a year. What if you had 5 properties or 10 properties? That adds up a lot. That's cash flow in your pockets, making your properties a lot better than your neighbors who is sitting at that 9%. So when you're looking at properties, you need to quickly calculate your DSCR ratios. You're going to know that by getting your rents, estimating your mortgage payments, and your taxes and insurance should be given to you. If there's HOA, add those all together, put them in this formula, and see where your property is before you put a contract on it. Know these ratios before you put a contract on a property. You want to make sure they fit your goals. Is this property going to cash flow like you expect it to? Now I have a free download for you just to make this a little bit easier. But before we get to that, if you like this video, you'll probably even like more on our channel that go over other kinds of leverage in DSCR. Now you can find that free DSCR calculator link below this video. Hope you enjoy it. Hope it helps you. We have a question for you. Do you think the rental market in 2023 is going to be better for investors in your area with the shortage of homes, or is it going to be impacted just because of how rents are increasing? If you have an answer to that, we'd love to hear from you. We'd like to see what's happening across the US. Just make a comment below. If you want to even make more money in real estate, stick around and I'll see you on the next video.